afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Dinner Made Easy show. I am your host, Erin Chase from $5 Dinners, and I am here to help you make getting dinner on the table easier, both from the planning and the actual time in the kitchen and getting it on the table. So I am here to share a delicious 5-ingredient recipe with you today. Alfredo Tortellini bake is what we are making, and this is one of the recipes that we have featured in this month's 5-ingredient meal series that we are running on the $5 Dinners blog. In that series, we are featuring 5-ingredient recipes, both from our archives as well as new ones, and this is one of our new ones I'm super excited about because cheese and pasta and bacon equals amazing sauce, right? So I'm super excited about this one. It is 5 ingredients, plus you're gonna need hot water. I don't count the water as an ingredient. I'm gonna share some tips along the way, as well as show you how I can get this in the oven in just a matter of minutes. So we are gonna jump in and get started. Tortellini, but this is the regular in the fridge kind. So I'm gonna show you how I have it laid out on my countertop, and then I'm gonna show you a sneak peek of what's happening behind the scenes in my kitchen because it's kind of a mess. You can't tell from right behind me, but if I turn the camera, it's quite the nightmare. Like, I don't have a sink. Seriously, it's not there. So anyways, that's why one of the reasons we're having this, and you'll see the tray that I'm making it in. I'm making it in this tonight because I don't want to do the dishes, but also because this is freezer friendly. So you could make this as I'm doing it right now, cover it and put it in the freezer and then bake it later. So let me show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk you through it. It's just me and my camera and my tripod here, so let me show this to you. So this is the first ingredient that's gonna go into this tray. You could also use a 9x13. This is a 20-ounce size. They also sell a 9-ounce size. You could half it down if you just wanna serve 2 or 3 people instead of this would be serving for 4. Also, if you wanted to get more protein in there, I grabbed this because it had a coupon on it, and I'm just going to throw this in the freezer like this, and I'll make something with it later. But this, if you wanted to do chicken, there's a couple of different options for you. I'm just going to do the cheese. So this is how this is going to work. This is going in here. The water, 1 cup of hot water, is going to go in there with it because the tortellini needs to soak up some water. We are not cooking this ahead of time. That's not what's happening here. Okay? So the water's going to go in. Then we're going to go with the peas, just sprinkling them over the top. Bacon, sprinkle them over the top. Alfredo is going to go over the top. And then I'm going to gently mix it all together because the water, you could mix the water in the Alfredo, but I like the water to be on the bottom of the tray so that all the tortellini that's on the bottom will soak it up as it's baking. And then last, we're putting cheese on top. And the cheese acts almost like the top layer on this. I'm not going to cover this when I bake it. I'm going to let the cheese kind of as it melts form the layer to keep the moisture inside of the food that's in the tray, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Slow cooked green beans, perfect. Okay, so this 20-ounce fits right into this tray. This is a half steam tray, but it's about the same size as a 9x13 disposable tray. And like I said, I'm using this one because I don't have a sink, and also to show you that it's freezer friendly. So you could freeze it after we do this. So I'm going to pour the water in. So we have the tortellini in the water, like I showed you. And I'm going to show you this now. So the water isn't very deep. No, the cheese won't burn because it's only going to be in there for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Can you see the water? Kind of, sort of, not really. It's not that deep because there's going to be enough liquid coming from the peas and coming the Alfredo sauce. The water and the peas will create enough liquid for the tortellini to soak up so that it cooks properly. So I'm going to toss in the peas. I lost a couple. Hang on, let me grab them, put them back in the tray. So, and then bacon, because bacon makes every Alfredo better. Bacon makes everything better. Will all the water be gone? You don't want it to water. No, the tortellini, the pasta that is the tortellini will totally soak up all of the water. So don't worry about that, Shannon. That's what happens. That's why I add a little water, because the Alfredo sauce is pretty thick. It doesn't quite have enough water in it, but the tortellini will soak it all up. I'll show you this in a second. And then, like I said, the cheese will act as a barrier on top, so not water will obviously escape from the pan because that's what happens when you bake for 20 minutes, but not that much will, and the tortellini will cook up really nicely. Okay, so I've got the peas and bacon in. Thanks, Day. This is my shirt from Mexico. It's one of my favorites. It's just so fun and festive, right? And today's a fun, happy summer day. So, okay, here we go. So that's what we have so far. Are y'all tracking with me? Tortellini, hot water, peas, bacon, because yum, bacon. Bacon makes everything better. It's a cup of hot water. You want it to be hot before it goes in the oven, just so it kind of speeds up the cooking process as it gets in there baking. So I'm gonna do the Alfredo sauce and then gently stir it all together. This is a 20 ounce, I think it's, let me see. Sorry, I'm scraping the sauce out. I want like every bit of sauce. Audrey, did you see? I just showed you. I know it's kind of funky because I'm filming with my phone here on Facebook Live. So it's kind of a little bit funny how I have to like talk to you and then show you what's happening. So let's see. I'm scraping this out because I want every bit of this amazing, delicious Alfredo sauce. So yes, the bacon would need to be cooked first. And I wanted to share a tip about that. Let me stir this gently and then I'll show you what's happened here. Sorry, I know this is strange. I need like, too bad you can't have an extra like GoPro, but you can't stream from 2 different devices onto the same Facebook page. So, don't trust to cook that doesn't scrape. That's right, Andrea. Okay, yes, the peas were frozen. So I poured the sauce right on top. Okay, so we're gonna review. Tortellini in first, then a cup of hot water, then a bag of frozen peas, a small bag of frozen peas, about a cup of crumbled bacon. You can get it from the store in the bag like that, or you can cook it. I wanted to share this tip with you, cooking it in the oven. Like I bake bacon in big batches, and then whatever we don't eat, which is usually only a couple of slices, then I will crumble that up and keep it in the freezer so that I can use it for things like this. Okay. Cassie, I used fresh tortellini that was refrigerated, but you could use frozen too. Doesn't matter. So let me finish mixing this up, and then I'm going to add the cheese on top, and then it's going to go in the oven. I did preheat the oven, and it's going to go in for 20 to 25 minutes until the cheese gets golden as you want. And you'll see once you cook it and as you bake it, or when you're done baking it, I guess, the tortellinis will just swell into the perfect, soft, delicious, amazing, pasta, cheesy, bacony goodness that it will be. So it's really, this is just perfect. I love doing this. It's such an easy, quick and easy dinner. So I finished mixing this up. It's not perfect because as it cooks and warms, it will kind of all melt and work itself together. So let me flip this down again. So that's what we got. And then I'm going to attempt to hold the camera and do cheese. I'm not left-handed. I might have to fix this here in a second. So this is what's happening. And like I said a minute ago, this cheese will act as it melts together, will almost act as a layer to hold a lot of the moisture in here so that the tortellini will bake as it's supposed to. Okay, so that's what it is that. Yes, I think we're gonna eat this for dinner. It's what we're having. I do have 2 dairy allergy kiddos, so they will have something different, but the rest of us are having this. I might eat the whole tray myself. Don't tell anyone. No, pick the peas out or do like half peas and not half peas. Does that make sense? This is an easy one. You could get away with that, or if you're not loving bacon, you could put bacon in 1/2, same thing. So that is that. So this is ready for the oven, right? Or if you're gonna freeze it, now is the time to freeze it. Take it like this, put a piece of foil on it, add a label on it, and then put it into your freezer. When you're ready to bake it, what I like to do is thaw it mostly before I bake it, just so it doesn't add a lot of cooking time to it. I will put this tray actually fits into a glass 9x13 dish, like a regular Pyrex baking dish. So I'll put a little warm water in the bottom of that and then place this tray into the warm water, and it just helps it thaw faster. So kind of cheese I added on top, mozzarella, thank you for asking. Totally could do broccoli. I could do broccoli, peas. I would say those are probably, I don't know that I would do little green beans. That doesn't sound quite right. But this is, I think bacon or peas would be fantastic with this. If you wanted to add in like cooked or grilled chicken, kind of chopped up, you know, you can dice up some grilled chicken. I'll do that sometimes, or if I know this is coming, I'll make a bigger batch of grilled chicken and then I'll say, hey, I'm gonna save a couple cups of this for another dinner, and then I would throw it in with this. That would be a great way to do this. Then you've got your pasta, your protein, and your cheese and your peas all in one. This could even end up being a one-dish dinner if you did that. Serve this with a side salad would be fantastic. So this is what we're having. 20 to 25 minutes in the oven until it gets golden brown and the tortellinis swell up and are nice and soft. So how long it will freeze for? I recommend freezing for up to 6 months in your fridge freezer. And if you have a deep freezer, up to 12 months. So let me do a quick recap, and then I'm going to put this in the oven. We're going to have this for dinner in a little while. If you missed it, I did share a couple of days ago, I think it was Monday, the ingredients list for this, and I will share the link onto this video here as well. So I'll put the link on so you can come back and either rewatch it or fast forward to the middle where we talked a lot more about the recipe, and then you can see how it works together. But again, this is a 5-ingredient meal. That is part of our 5-ingredient series on $5 dinners, and here is what we did. We did 20-ounce package of tortellini into a 9x13 tray. We did 1 cup of hot water. Then we did a small bag of frozen peas, 12 to 16 ounces, depending on what your store has. A cup of crumbled bacon. Of course, you could do a little more. The bacon is very forgiving in this one. And then a 15 to 24 ounce jar of Alfredo sauce, depending on how saucy you want it to be. And then I topped it with 2 cups of mozzarella, shredded mozzarella cheese that will melt together and hold kind of the moisture in there and help the tortellinis bake perfectly together. So if you want to add a chopped basil as a garnish would be really delicious, serve it with a side salad. That's what we're going to have with it for dinner tonight. So you're going to bake this 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes, or until the cheese kind of begins to golden on top and the tortellinis are cooked through. So I hope you enjoy this Alfredo tortellini bake, this 5-ingredient meal from $5dinners.com.